name is Joseph. Darling, we are live discussing the hardest part in business. And this is a bit advanced, but this is a business channel. I'm preparing you guys to succeed on a massive level and get abundance in every single category of life. The hardest part in business is and always will be making the decision. The decision to actually succeed now, or in the next 6 months, in the next 12 months, in the next 18 months, 2 years. There is a certain period of time when you will arrive in your business where now it's going to happen, it's do or die, no matter what, nothing's going to get in my way. I'm going to achieve that huge goal that I've set for myself. It is happening. No more wishy-washy, back and forth. No, this and only this and nothing else matters to me. That decision is the hardest part in business, and I want to explain why that is. First of all, arriving to that point of creating massive success. And what is massive success? It could be, for some people, it's $1 million, right? For some people, it could maybe even be $100,000. It doesn't matter. It's just a big goal that changes your life completely. Okay, and that's basically what it is. Maybe even 10K a month. That's also a huge decision. Why is that the hardest part? It's because the preparation in order for you to make that decision is difficult. The preparation leading up to the decision that's the hardest part in business. And you can't really make a real, genuine, proper decision without having gone through that first hard aspect of business. And what is that hard aspect? It's basically, number one, not knowing what your purpose is. You don't know what you want to do in your life. You don't know your niche. You don't know the market. You don't know your skills. You don't know your talents. You don't know what you like, what you don't like. You don't know anything about life or about yourself or about business in general. So you're basically just kind of interested in success, just dabbling here and dabbling there without really achieving anything. You're not going anywhere. Very often you're kind of going backwards because your competitors or people that you know are moving ahead and they're succeeding, or at least it looks like they're succeeding on Instagram or elsewhere when you meet them. But in general, you feel like you're not going anywhere. You haven't made the decision yet. But you're going through the motions of struggling, and eventually, at some point in time, you're going to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of not having the things that you want, that you will eventually now get to the point where you make a decision. So there's another aspect to this, is basically not understanding business, not understanding, like if you have found your niche, once you're inside your niche, there are certain aspects to that niche that you haven't figured out. And you need to know every single aspect of business. Like, what example could I make? For example, in coaching business, okay? When someone says, I want to be a coach, they don't really know what it is to be a coach. Right? They think, well, I'll jump on calls and I'll listen to guys and ask them good questions and then I'll help them to succeed and transform their lives. That's not what coaching really is, okay? In the beginning, coaching is basically talking to a bunch of people that don't want to talk to you. That's what coaching is, if you really think about it. And it's sales and marketing, it's making posts, it's making videos, it's basically putting yourself out there as an expert at a time when you don't really know much. And then you got to do that for years after year after year after year after year until you actually have stuff that does work and people do see that things are happening in their lives and you're transforming their lives, etc. And now coaching actually becomes coaching. But in the beginning, you weren't really a coach at all. You were just basically a salesperson with belief in yourself that you could actually transform people's lives. That's what coaching really is. And you can't really make a decision, and that was just an example, but you can't really make a decision to succeed as a coach or whatever it is in your niche, whatever it is, because you don't know what the different things in your business that have to be done need to get done. And so you understand what making the decision entails. If you know what the decision entails, then you can properly make the decision. But if you don't know what the decision entails and you're like, well, let me just decide right now. I'll just make a decision, a firm decision that I'm going to achieve $1 million by the end of 2025. Great, make that decision, fantastic. But that won't be the real decision. You're probably going to have to go through a lot of crap until you get to the point maybe in 2023 or 24 where you actually make the decision, because now you've understood everything that needed to lead up to the aspect of actually making the real decision. Does that make sense? So I'm trying to help you to understand this aspect because it's all about the decision. Like, in many ways, it's really the only thing you have to know and understand in business. Like, really understand it. Have I made the decision? If you have to ask that question, you haven't made the decision. You're just preparing for your decision. At some point in time, you will make the decision, hopefully. But you won't do it if you're not obsessed. This is why I talk about the 80-hour work week so much, as one of the things. This is why I talk about getting, temporarily not having any romantic aspect of bringing women into your life. Why? Because it completely dilutes the obsession towards success. You can't make a real decision if you've got women in your life, okay, who are going to derail you on a continual basis, and especially if it's multiple and tons of women and whatever, and you're still obsessed with women. That's not going to work very well. What is going to work, however, is if you actually manage to get obsessed with success and you figured out everything that you needed to figure out to actually make that decision. Making that decision has a lot of consequences. How long does it take? In order for you to get massive, absolute, huge, massive momentum in your business, whichever business model it is, I can promise you it's going to take a long time to lead up to it, but once you actually make the decision and you know what that decision entails, success, or momentum towards success and towards actually on autopilot achieving your big goal that you wanted to achieve, takes 6 months. It takes 6 months for you to actually put in place massive momentum that automatically leads you to that huge goal. But it's the preparation towards that that is intense and that is extremely difficult and hard. And also, those 6 months after having made the decision will probably be the worst part of your life in business, but you will look back at it and look at that suffering as the best time of your life because you overcame it. You actually got through the mud and got to the other side, and now you could look back and it's not painful anymore. Now it's actually a joy to look back and look at your suffering and see, man, we made it. We actually achieved it. So some people take 2 years to actually get to that 6-month time frame. Some people take 5 years. Some people take 10. Some people take 20 years. This is the difference with someone having a mentor and someone not having a mentor. You never really get to the point of actually making the decision. If you've got a mentor, you figure out really quickly what you need to do in your business and what to do in your niche to arrive more quickly to that decision, right? You go through hardship. You go through, with me, I recommend to get 3 jobs while you build your business on the side. No one else tells you to do this. That is going to push you towards actually making a decision. And I'm telling you, you have not made any decisions yet. And also, here's another one aspect, and it's the last aspect that I'm going to mention right now, is the more you do not follow through on your decisions, it's going to become harder and harder for you to eventually follow through with your decisions. So if you actually don't, you make a decision and then you actually don't follow through with that decision at all, or you don't know what it entails, so it doesn't really happen, you know that that's going to make your self-esteem lower. I didn't follow through on my decision, so now my decision muscle is weaker. You want it to become stronger. The only way for it to get stronger is actually if you do the thing that you decided on. But if you make a decision and then you actually don't follow through with integrity, then your decision muscle became weaker, which means that the next time when you are making a decision, it's going to be weaker decision because of your lower self-esteem. This is why it's so crucial that you're preparing yourself properly for the day when you actually make the decision, because you have to follow through with it. It doesn't mean that you can't get better and get stronger at making decisions in the future, but it's gonna get harder. So how do you revive this decision muscle if it's become weaker and weaker and weaker, or you've never built the decision muscle? It is about doing the small, meaningless, important habits every single day. Is like a contradiction. Meaningless and important, crucial, right? It's like, no, they seem meaningless, but they're crucial to do the habits that will take you to the land of your dreams. Those decisions on a daily basis, if you actually follow through with them, your decision muscle are actually getting stronger. And this is what you need to be practicing on a daily basis. Man, I'm so excited for you. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.